And that is day 30. 4 a.m. 30 days. Give me 1 second. That's better. Oh my god. Okay, so this is day 30. Let me explain why I did this. Hello everyone, welcome to another video. I'm sat in my car because it's the only place I can control the audio and the lighting. Anyway, let's get straight into the video. Last month, from March 1st to March 30th, I woke up at 4 a.m. every day. In this video, I'm going to talk you through my 30 days. I'm going to show you what happened. I'm going to show you the impact. I'm going to show you how I felt. I'm going to tell you about whether it was a good thing or a bad thing. I'm just going to reflect on the last month, basically. Firstly, I'm going to start with why I did it. So I launched my YouTube channel in February, and I thought if I'm going to do this YouTube thing properly, I need to get used to documenting my life on a regular basis pretty quickly. So I thought recording 30 days of footage would be a good way to do that. Also, I wanted to get better at editing and telling a story that spanned a longer period of time. In February, my first few videos were all recorded and edited within 24 hours and then published like straight after. I wanted to get used to the idea of telling a story that spanned longer than 24 hours, so maybe a week, maybe longer than that, and how to edit that and tell that story and record all that footage and capture it and organize it. So I thought, again, doing 30 days, capturing all that footage for 30 days, and then coming together, organizing it and editing it would be a pretty sick skill to learn. And the third reason, I was quite curious as to what happens with energy and productivity levels. So I'm quite a practical person. I don't read, I don't watch any documentaries, I can't sit through any, but I do like to do things for myself. I do like to see how things feel for myself, and I like having my own story and my own experiences to share. So again, I went out, did this for myself to see what would happen. And also, when I started YouTube, I was getting pretty overwhelmed with managing work, managing my workouts and my running and my training, and managing filming, editing, and uploading to YouTube. I was like, I need more time in the day, and it felt like every single minute of the day was being occupied by doing one of those things. So I thought, if I wake up early, I can create more time to manage all those things, and that's why I did it. So I knew if I was going to do this and do this properly, I would need to plan out what my day would look like from 4 a.m. onward. I needed to make sure that my time was actually filled with things to do from 4 a.m. so that I got up and actually was productive with my time, rather than just waking up at 4 a.m. but then like watching YouTube or watching Netflix or playing PlayStation in the time that I would be sleeping. So here's a quick look at how I spent my hours pretty much for most of the 30 days. It started with either a run, a workout, or a walk. You want to feel like you're the only one in the world? Get up at 4 o'clock. You literally think you're the only person who exists. Anyway, I'm at the track now. I'm gonna jump in, do my run, and then I'll see you straight after in this exact same spot. Peace. Boom. Run's done, cool down's done. I feel good. Endorphins flying all over the place. It is 5:45. Let's go home, have some breakfast. Then I'll go into some editing, then I'll go and have some breakfast, then I'll start my work day, then I'll have another workout in the afternoon. And then late in the afternoon, I'd have some lunch or some dinner, and then do some more editing, and then basically go to sleep. So obviously, it started off very difficult. It's 4:10 on day 1. It's been a shocking start. Yesterday I went to bed at 10 p.m. thinking sick. I'll sleep 6 hours, wake up at 4. I slept for about 2 hours, woke up at 12 a.m. Stayed in bed till 2 a.m. Couldn't go back to sleep. Then I managed to sleep for 2 hours. I feel like dying right now. Yeah, I'm shattered. It's 10 o'clock. I'm finished. Yeah, today's gonna feel like the longest day ever. It's 10 o'clock. And all I can think about doing is sleeping. It's a good start to the month. But then, after a few days, I was getting used to it and I was able to wake up at 4 a.m. more easily. As the month went by, I found myself having more time and more capacity to do things. When I started my YouTube channel, I thought I was going to be posting 1 video a week. But as the month went by, I realized I actually have more time now to post more videos a week and record more bits of my life, especially on the weekends. When you wake up at 4 a.m. on a Saturday, it feels like you've got all the hours in the world. So I committed to doing a new series, which was recording all the food I eat on a weekend, having it edited and then published on Monday. And then again, as the weeks went by, as I kept waking up at 4 a.m, having my workouts done really early, managing my work, having so much more time meant I was able to commit to another thing, which is the triathlon, and recording my whole triathlon training, and again, having that as a new series published every week on Wednesdays.
Day 14, Sunday the 14th of March. Another day, 2 weeks down. Whew. Wait, let me freshen out, then I'll catch up with you. That's much better. So, day 14, 2 weeks in, it's going really well. It's not a normal month. I've been focusing a lot more on YouTube, trying to grow that and trying to do as much with that as possible, trying to put as much effort into that. Yeah, it's weird, like I've woken up today, Sunday, just freshened up, and I feel like I've got like a million things I want to do with YouTube, with editing, with filming for different things. Like when you see this, you'll see the different stuff I've been posting, the triathlon series, the food series, and the weekend videos. So when I think about what I'm going to need and all the time I'm going to need to do all that, I feel like I need to wake up at 4 a.m. every single time just to make the most of the time I have so I can do all that. So the main reflection at this point, 14 days in, is I can use all the time I can get. And that's basically why I'm quite glad I'm doing this, why I feel good about doing it. I just get a lot more extra time and there's a lot more I could do with that time. And mainly I'm trying to dedicate it to YouTube really. So that's day 14.
Here's what I learned pretty quickly. Waking up at 4 a.m. isn't the hard part. It's going to sleep early enough so that waking up at 4 a.m. doesn't feel so difficult. The days where waking up at 4 a.m. were very difficult is when I slept at midnight or 1 a.m.
So it's the end of day 18. It's just past midnight. And I'm going to sleep. The issue with the 4 a.m. thing, it's not about waking up at 4 a.m. It's trying to get 6 or 7 hours of sleep. Like today, I've been doing a lot of filming, doing a lot of editing for Saturday's video, which is my 1 year transformation during the pandemic. Now I'm sleeping at 12, and now I've got to get up at 4. Got to run 5k in the morning, triathlon training, etc. Waking up at 4 is not the hard thing. Going to sleep at an appropriate time to then be able to get out at 4 is what's hard. Life gets in the way. Today life got in the way. So come 4 a.m, it's going to be a struggle. But I'll see you then. We made it. I feel like death. But we made it. Let's get on with the day.
The issue is, around 20 out of the 30 days, I did go to sleep around midnight, because even though I had all that time, I still needed more time to get all the things I wanted to get done, which meant on average, I had about 4 hours of sleep throughout the whole month. So here's what I learned. In terms of energy levels, I realized one thing which is quite interesting. My energy levels and my productivity wasn't actually dictated by how I felt or what time I slept or what time I woke up. It was actually dictated by how much I had going on.
Day 12, and that is a new PB for the 5k. Whew. Day 12, 2 PBs in a week. If this is what waking up at 4 a.m. means, sign me up for a lifetime. 4 a.m, March, day 12. Going very well. Very, very well.
Now that I'd committed to doing so much, posting 3 videos a week, doing my work, training for a triathlon, waking up at 4 a.m. became non-negotiable. I had to do it to get the time I needed, to get all the things I needed to get done.
One of my favorite things about waking up at 4 a.m. is it means I have so much time to be able to upload videos to YouTube. Like today's Saturday, the 27th of March. I've woken up to upload the 5k running time video, and I've left myself enough time to watch it, edit it, rewatch it again, to make sure it's all good. And I still have time, even on the day of Saturday, to upload it. So I'll have time to be up by 7 p.m.
I had to wake up at 4 a.m. I had to go on my run. I had to do my exercise. I had to come back. I had to do my editing. Then I had to start work. I had so much things that I filled my day with that whether I felt like it, whether I was motivated to do it, wasn't really a question. I just had to get it done. I had to stay active. I had to get productive. I couldn't afford to dwell on whether I felt like it, whether I had the motivation or not. For so long, I thought that what we did on a daily basis was dictated by our energy levels and our motivation to do so. For me, what I learned in these 30 days is that it actually stems from the targets you set for yourself, how difficult and ambitious they are. In these 30 days, I committed to doing things that are compelling to me, that moved me, that motivated me, that I'm passionate about. When I committed to doing those things and making them quite difficult to achieve, I just had to get up and do them. Motivation and energy became almost irrelevant. Now, of course, it wasn't all positive. There were some very uncomfortable moments, a lot of them actually. The most notable one was getting up in the dark every single day and having to wake up, go out in the dark and do my exercise in the dark. Friday, back at the track, 5K run coming up. Just before I get out there and start, I thought I'd share one feeling, one bit of reflection. The hardest part, when I've just parked up, and it's incredibly cold outside, it's raining, it's dark, and I'm really warm and comfortable in the car. The hardest part is the 2 seconds right before I open the door and go out there. That change in scenery, the change in feeling, the change in temperature, accepting that is the hardest part. Always take one deep breath, then another deep breath, then I open the door and get out. The 2 seconds right before you do something uncomfortable, it's always the hardest part. But overall, I would say it was a pretty successful month, and here are some of the lessons I learned throughout. Firstly, productivity, what I think a lot of you are interested in hearing about. So here are some of my highlights from the month. I ran a marathon. I set a new 5K PB of 19 minutes 6 seconds. I've signed up to and started training for a triathlon. I've covered over 530 kilometers cycling. I've done over 90 kilometers of running. I've completed 15 home workouts. I covered 200 kilometers walking, and I posted 10 YouTube videos, all whilst doing a full-time job, working 9 to 5, basically from home. That's a level of efficiency and productivity I would have never imagined back in February. I would have never imagined at the start of the year. And I definitely did not expect myself to have posted 10 videos in 1 month when I first started my channel. So one of the number one lessons I actually learned from the month also was the value, the sheer value in doing something uncomfortable at the start of your day. It can be waking up at 4 a.m. It can be going for a run. It can be having a cold shower. Whatever it is, there's something so powerful about doing something uncomfortable at the start of your day that just shifts your perspective on the rest of your day. It takes some serious discomfort to normalize it, to push through, to program different habits into your life. But once you get through those, you can really, really normalize it. Some days I woke up before the alarm. I woke up at 3:30, 3:50. Some days I woke up at 2 a.m. having slept at 10 p.m. That's how programmed my body became. One thing I discovered is humans have an amazing ability to transform themselves just using their mind and repetition. It's crazy how much you can change just by doing something different repeatedly. Like also, now that I finished the month, I realized it was never really about 4 a.m. It could have been 3 a.m. It could have been 5 a.m. It could have been 6 a.m. The real point was to take something that was considered uncomfortable, commit to it and see it through, and basically learn and benefit from doing something like that. For me personally, maybe for a lot of you, we become so comfortable in our day-to-day lives. And the idea for me was to push myself out of my comfort zone, do something that would make me appreciate the small things, make me appreciate the little things that I took for granted. And there's another bit of reflection I'd like to share, and that is appreciation of sunlight. Sounds strange, but hear me out. So for 30 days, I was up before the sun every single day. I'd always start my walk or my run in the dark. And to be honest, that darkness was quite intimidating. It was like quite scary. There were times I'd be walking, I couldn't see my hand in front of me. That's how dark it was. And I was just walking pitch black in the middle of nowhere. I never felt fully comfortable. I never felt fully at ease. But here's how I got through it. I told myself, just start your walk, start your run, and keep going forward. Eventually, and inevitably, the sun's gonna come out. And that's a guarantee. And every day, without fail, I was on the track or going for a walk, the sun always came out. I'd wake up at 4, be out of the house by 4:30, 4:45, be doing my running around 5, 5:30, and then just before 6, the sun will start to come out and it will get light. Every single day, the sun came out, without fail. Now, it sounds like a stupid thing to say, but it genuinely made me appreciate sunlight so much, because every single day I woke up in the dark, and every single day without fail the sun always came out. It always went from dark to light. No matter what was going on in my life, it always went from dark to light. No matter what I was doing, I could have been walking, editing, exercising, running, whatever. Now I'm sure there's a metaphor in there somewhere, like, you know, the darkness always comes to an end and there's light at the end of the tunnel. And yes, you can take all those metaphors. All I'm saying is, the sun always came out. And no matter how intimidating it was, waking up, walking, doing my exercise at 4 a.m. in the dark, in the middle of nowhere, the sun always came out. And that for me was quite a profound lesson and something that I would never forget. And here's the last thing and the last bit of reflection and the last lesson I will leave you with from my 30 days of waking up at 4 a.m. Ultimately, it's about building a life that you care about. It's about building a life that you want to wake up at 4 a.m. for. And here's what I mean. There were days when YouTube was kicking my ass. The triathlon training was kicking my ass. Running, I hated it. Cycling, I hated it. And there was a lot of pressure at work to contend with. They were not easy days. I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you I did those 30 days with a smile on my face. I didn't. But here's what I realized about waking up at 4 a.m. Ultimately, for me, and I'm sure for a lot of you, you want to build a life that you care about. A life that you can invest in. A life that you want to wake up at 4 a.m. for. And the reason I say that and really care about that is because I spent a few of my years not really living a life that I care too much about. Going from day to day on a whim, not to invest in how the day turns out, not to invest in how the week turned out or the month turned out. And it's not a great feeling. It's easy to go through life not caring too much, avoiding responsibility, and avoiding pain and disappointment from overcommitting and doing things. But the years I lived half-heartedly, I wouldn't want to live them again. What I realized doing these 30 days is I would trade a life filled with pressure, filled with early mornings, any day of the week over a life where I wake up any time of the day and not care about what I do with my day. I once read a quote and it stuck with me and I want to share it with you. Don't ask what the world needs, ask what makes you feel alive, and go do it. What the world needs is more people who have come alive. So, my advice to anyone out there who's trying to be more productive, trying to be more efficient, trying to do with more of their time, trying to start something up on the side is, it's not about waking up at 4 a.m. It's not about waking up earlier. It's about finding that thing that you want to wake up to. You need something to wake up to then wake up at 4 a.m. You need something that you care so much about that waking up at 4 a.m. becomes the easy option, becomes non-negotiable. My advice is discover the thing that you love to do so much, that brings you so much joy, that you get so much satisfaction out of it, that you will then want to wake up at 4 a.m. so then you have the time to do it, to be able to do it well, and to do it whilst you're doing the other stuff like your normal 9-to-5 job, which is paying the bills. Not having the time to do something that you're passionate about is not an excuse. It's just that you haven't made that passion a priority. Once you make it a priority, you'll find the time. And that could be waking up at 4 a.m. to make it happen. That's the last thought I leave you with. I'm incredibly tired. I've had bags under my eyes for the whole 30 days, but it was definitely worth it. I've got a lot more done than I would ever thought. I will tell you, it was a nightmare recording 30 days and organizing it on my files, but hopefully it was worth it. Hopefully you guys found it useful. I will tell you this, I'm definitely going to do it more often. I'm definitely going to wake up between 4 and 5:30 every single morning. So that's it. That's everything I learned in those 30 days. That's my experience waking up at 4 a.m. every day. And that's everything I have to share. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I really hope you found it useful. I really hope there's something you can take away from it. If there was, give it a like. Please subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you next time.